All right, today we finally have some parts that are arriving, and we figured what we would do is just a quick unboxing and kind of show you some of the stuff that we're getting, and really things are about to start to heat up. Well, all right, so the first package we got here was actually from CB Performance, and it's our disc brake setup. And what we've determined here for this car is we're going to be running four-wheel disc brakes. And after a lot of research, it looks to me like the best bang for the buck for this vehicle is going to be this kit. So let's just take a look and see what we got here. We'll get rid of some of this packing. And first up, it looks like we got our spindles. And everything I read says these are pretty good spindles, pretty strong. They're stamped CB Performance, so we know that they're made just for them. And really looks pretty good. Part of the kit that I bought, you know, it comes with all the hardware needed to mount it. So for the front brakes, you get stainless steel braided hoses. You know, we've got our wheel bearings. What do we got? What's next? Here's another spindle. We'll just set that aside. Looks like we got a couple of calipers here. And I'll just open up one of them here. And, you know, I mean, it's a brake caliper, but it looks to be a pretty good quality. Comes loaded already with pads, which is nice, and nice gold CAD finish on there. So that's pretty nice looking there. And then finally, right here is our brake rotor, and pretty slick setup that CB has here. This is an aluminum hub. It's already got studs installed, and then it has a looks like a cast iron. Pull this plastic out of the way. A cast iron disc for the braking surface, and that is just bolted directly to the aluminum hub. So all in all, really pretty nice looking, and that'll make this thing stop in a heartbeat. In fact, let's just measure the diameter of this rotor here, and that is an 11-inch rotor. That's a pretty big rotor. That's almost as large as the rotors I have on my Chevy. So that's pretty nice. So I think with the, you know, decent sized caliper, decent sized rotor, this thing should really stop nicely. So that's our front brake setup, and I'm going to get the box open for the rear brakes, and we'll look at some of those pieces. Well, all right, so I got the box for the rear setup open here, and right away, right on the top, we've got our new emergency brake cables, which are going to be specific to the calipers that we're using. Ordered some extra line here. Again, this kit is pretty comprehensive. We've got a new set of seals for the axles, and then here is our, looks like our caliper mounting bracket. So this is a pretty nicely machined piece of cast iron. Looks like that's going to do a good job for holding those in place. And then here are the calipers that we'll be using. Again, it's got a nice gold CAD finish that matches the front calipers. Preloaded already with pads, and all in all, again, it looks like a nicely machined piece here, and hopefully it does what we need it to. So we'll set that one aside. Now this wasn't included in the kit, but I did go and order a new master cylinder. This is the one that CB recommended for this kit for the 4-wheel disc brakes. It is a dual circuit master cylinder, which is just going to be a little safer, a little bit nicer for what we're doing. And finally, the last major piece here are the rear rotors. Get this box out of the way. Suck this out of the bag here. And there it is. So there's our rear rotor. And this is an all cast iron piece. Now this rotor does not have studs installed like the front ones did. This is meant to use the original wheel bolts. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get some studs, get those screwed in there so we can just use regular lug nuts all the way around. I'm going to quickly measure the diameter of this rotor, and this one's also 11 inches. So this Bug should stop in a heartbeat. 4-wheel disc brakes, 11-inch rotors. I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing here. I hope everything works as good as it looks. Again, we got all this from CB Performance. As much research as I could do that tells us this is going to be the best for what we're trying to accomplish with this car. All right, next up, we've got our order from Jbugs. And let's just get this box opened up here. And this is not everything that I've ordered. There's still a few things that they're waiting to ship. But it's a good start, and it's really a lot of the stuff we need immediately here. So first things first, nice little sticker. I think we'll stick that right there, Kurt. What do you think? Anyway, let's get some of this packing out of here. Packing looks okay. Stuff just kind of laid in here, but we'll start here. So this is actually a cover for the under the hood for the firewall. So this will cover up so you don't see any of the electrical stuff. Let's see what we got in here. All right, so here's just a bunch of this small miscellaneous stuff we ordered. I'm not going to go through all of this. A lot of this is just little things I know I'm going to need later. All right, next up, let's get it out of this bubble wrap here. These are actually new kick panels, and these will mount speakers for us. So these are actually fiberglass kick panels. So they'll just bolt in underneath. I got the blank ones because I don't know what size speakers we're going to be running just yet, but I can cut my own speaker holes, and these feel fairly stiff. So hopefully that'll give us a good sound. So these I'm pretty excited about because that should give us a nice sounding stereo. And then finally here, I ordered some heater channels. My first impression, this actually feels pretty good. Feels like it's pretty thick gauge. It looks correct. We'll find out how well things fit. I did want to make sure I bought a good quality part, and these were actually made in Denmark. Everything I read said this is a pretty good quality channel. Fitment should be pretty decent. I wanted to make sure we didn't have any major issues with fitment. So that is our heater channel. Well, that's about it for our first box from Jbugs. Like I said, there's a lot of other things that were on that order that we're still waiting for. They just haven't shipped yet. So when that stuff gets here, we'll show you what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and get all this put back in the box, move this off to the side, and then we'll move on to our last one. All right, and finally our last box here is from Wolfsburg West, and they've got a lot of the stuff that we need to finish this car off right. So let's get this open here. Packing is really pretty awesome from Wolfsburg. When I pulled the staples out of the box, the whole perimeter of the lid of the box was stapled shut, and then it's got the whole package has been filled with these peanuts, which really keep things in place. So A1 packing Wolfsburg. So let's get this first box out here. Again, well packed, lots of peanuts. Keep everything safe here. So if I can get this. So first up here is actually our front valance. The one that's in the car right now is pretty beat up. The bottom of it's rotten. It's all bent out of shape and cracked. And I figured it'd be easier to just start with a fresh piece than it would be to try to patch the old one. All right, so this is our lower spare tire well. This mounts right behind the valance, and again, the one in the car is completely rotten all the way back to here, and I didn't want to have to mess with patching that. So, you know, again, we've got this guy, basically it'll weld together, something like that. So here we've got a bag full of just some miscellaneous hardware that I ordered up. Just to make sure we're covered with everything. We did get some new bumper brackets because we don't have any. Finally, we've got our inner front fender area. This is actually the inner fender well where the bumper mounts to, and on the original car, because it had been smashed, this is all bent and warped out of shape. And we figured it'd be much easier to just buy a new piece and get this grafted in where necessary than it would be to try to fix the old one. So it looks like that's all that's in this one. I've got one for the left and one for the right. All right, so next up here, again, everything is so well packed, it's just awesome. This, we went ahead and got a new set of headlight buckets. The ones that are on the car, the chrome is junk. Most of the adjusters are gone. There's some areas that are rusty. And instead of trying to piece together anything new, we just went ahead and got a brand new set. Brand new lenses. Should be nice and clear, so I don't have to worry about the other ones not looking great with the new paint job. First impression, I don't want to open the bag right now, but the chrome looks really nice. The lens, as much as I can tell through this plastic bag, the lens looks really clear. Pretty nice looking kit here. All right, last up here, this is our new front bumper. And this bag is really nice. But if I pull that out, and I'm not going to pull this out of the plastic bag right now, but there it is. So we now have a nice show chrome front bumper to replace the Nerf bars that we have in the car now. And again, everything I researched said that the Wolfsburg bumper was really a nice piece. And boy, I can confirm that off of my initial inspection here. It's really heavy, nice thick metal. Again, as much as I can tell through the plastic bag, the chrome looks like it's really nice, and this should fit the bill. Pretty nice looking. So I'm going to go ahead and slip this back in this really heavy-duty felt bag that they sent it in. And this will be nice to store it in, so I don't have to worry about causing any kind of damage or anything. Well, there we have it. We've got everything unboxed here, and we are going to go through one last time off camera here and actually do an inventory, make sure we got everything that was ordered. But at this point, we're ready to get some work done in this car. Now, we have a lot of little things we have been doing while we've been waiting for parts. The next video you'll see will actually be all the work that we've been doing on the doors. So be on the lookout for that. That should be coming out pretty quick. I know there wasn't a lot going on here, but at least you got a sense of what's coming down the road. So thanks for watching and hanging out with us here, and I'll see you around.